Coming up Thursday, Tom Brady looks to bolster his MVP resume against a team he owns. Plus, the leader in the NBA MVP race is on center stage. That's Thursday morning. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
Welcome, Army sports fans, from sea to shining sea. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and yes, the mere sound of my voice lets you know it's that time again. It's time to talk Army Black Knight football, and we're doing that down here with Steve Moulton sitting beside me, Colonel Tom Economy, Steve Cripey, the human Ouija board, and we are at Bubbies Diner, and guess what we have sitting right in front of us? We have a box where you can register for 4 real live, honest-to-goodness tickets to the Army-Navy game, the sold-out Army-Navy game. Come down here and sign up. You don't have to be present to win, but you got to be present to put your John Hancock on it. And we're going to draw them at 8:15 and give them away to somebody. And somebody's going to win those tickets. And we're also down here at Bubbies. If you've never came to Bubbies Diner on 8412.
If you've never came to Bubbies.
We're in Alabama.
Never came to Bubbies.
That's Lawrenceville, Tennessee. I think.
That's right.
Lawrenceburg.
Lawrenceburg, yeah.
Where proper grammar is optional.
Burgville, it's kind of all the same.
But Bubbies is a good place to eat. I come here a lot. I live pretty close by. And tonight I had the catfish. It was delicious. And everything they have down here is good.
We had some of the burgers. And those
were great.
Those were killer.
Yeah.
And plus, if you want to get a milkshake or a banana split or a sundae, they can do that here too. It's kind of a lot of 50s, 60s theme decor down here.
Hence the name diner. When you think of diner, this is it.
It's comfort food. Yeah, this is being a keto guy. This is not a keto diet. Yeah, so I did a cheat night here.
Well, Steve, we won't tell anybody.
Yeah, on the radio. We're not telling anybody.
You can cheat on your diet, just don't cheat on your wife. How about that?
I'll agree with that.
Well, we got a great show tonight. We've got Coach Eric Mcdaniel, who is the first-year coach of the defensive line. We've never had him on before, obviously, because this is his first year.
Yeah.
And after that,
what a year they've had.
And what a keen grasp of the obvious, once again, from Crawdad.
Hey,
that kind of insight that only Crawdad can provide.
You get analysis, expert analysis from me. And then after that, we've got somebody who does have some keen insight, Johnny Brooks, the blogger extraordinaire. And after that, we're going to give those tickets away. And we're looking forward to it.
That's going to be exciting, yeah. So we're giving somebody an opportunity to jump through hoops and get to New York. So, but what a game it's going to be. I mean, it's 20th anniversary of 9/11, 10 miles from Ground Zero. It's I think it's going to be a pretty spectacular game with all the pomp and circumstance and ceremonies. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, and you mentioned 9/11, and kudos to the equipment staff and Nike, and the history department always plays a big role in these special uniforms. That whole uniform is a tribute to 9/11 and the United States initial response to that in theater. So that's that.
And to your point, right? I mean, we're sponsored by Nike, Navy sponsored by Under Armour, so it seems to be a competition. But I think Nike did a great job in capturing the 9/11. Look at Navy's uniforms, and you're like, it could be any year, right? I mean, it looks like Captain America. But
we're honoring a nation and organizations, and Navy's honoring
Navy
equipment.
Yeah.
Well, be that as it may, I think it's just going to be a great football game. It always is. If you recall, last year we won 15-0.
That was a great game
on the grounds of the academy in the fog.
Zero.
Hence the zero.
Yeah.
And Navy, I'll just say it frankly, they're a team that seems to be discombobulated and in a state of disarray this year.
Yeah, and like we were talking about before, I mean that the AD came in and fired the offensive coordinator, and then the head coach hired the offensive coordinator back as the quarterback coach. They've got organizational issues. I mean, it runs deep.
I thought they only did stuff like that down at Auburn.
Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, right, we were just reading Johnny Brooks' analysis, and their second leading tackler just quit last week.
He had enough fun.
Yeah, I mean, so you just wonder what kind of team commitment you have to have a guy who's obviously a key part of your defense just say, "Hey, I'm done."
Well, Tom, now one thing though, Steve and I had read Johnny Brooks's analysis a long time ago. We didn't just read it 5 minutes before the show.
Hey, if you wait till the last minute, it only takes a minute.
There you go, Steve. That's why I'm here, man.
But not only him, but coming into the season, Carruthers, their leading rusher from last year, decided to quit. Now, the speculation, maybe both of those are due to the vaccine mandate, and that's sort of the get-out-of-jail-free card for those guys to head to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I think that, when you talk about the brotherhood, an army, and you sign up for the brotherhood, I mean, it's a commitment. Yeah. And so maybe you have to do things that you don't want to do personally. Yep. But, man, you're looking at the guy to your left and your right, and you made a commitment.
Yeah, it's not just a commitment to, an entity like the Naval Academy or the Military Academy, but, it's the guy.
Boat.
Yeah, it's the guy you're occupying the foxhole with, like you say.
Well, let me ask, do you guys think that this is the swan song of Niumatalolo? I mean, he's had a good run here, but
this is 2 seasons in a row of this. Now, he sort of got a pass in the COVID era, as they're calling it. But, the fact that that's sort of replicating this year, there hasn't been an upward trend. Now, I will say, sort of watching them through the year, even though it hasn't reflected in the win-loss columns.
They've improved.
They've improved as the season's gotten over. I think their offense is still struggling for an identity. They don't really have a potent player offensively. And so maybe it's just another recruiting cycle or two. But you think about it. Niumatalolo has been there this is 24th season.
Yeah, it's about time.
He's on the cusp of a quarter century kind of thing.
That's 25 years.
Right? There you go.
I think he would be on the cusp of that.
And but I think he may get another season of grace. And I'd like to, if he does end up departing the Naval Academy, it would be he deserves to go out on a high note.
Well, I was just thinking I'm really hoping that, we've never had that big blowout win against Navy. Yeah. And the only thing that I hold in reserve and why I wouldn't want that to happen was I think it might drive him out. Right, he might get fired, and
so
I want him to hang around.
Well, one thing we've been doing a very good job of tonight is we've been blasting the Naval Academy as hard as we can. Well, let's talk a little bit about Army, because we've had some players who've had some great years this year. I think, first of all, Christian Anderson, our dual threat quarterback, is back. I think he's healthy. I know he has had some trouble this year, but he's back.
Not only back. I think he is. I think he has certainly surprised me with the competence of which he's run the option, and really more importantly, how he's thrown the ball.
Yeah. With the exception of the Massachusetts game.
Yeah, he was
off that. But he's thrown it with authority.
Well, he certainly was on for Liberty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He is a true dual threat quarterback, which it's been a while since we've had one of those.
And I've also really been pleased with, especially since I got to meet his dad, Trevor. But Terrell Robinson averaging.
Is he dropping names?
I am dropping names. If you would have been over at the Georgia State game, you would have met him too. But Terrell's averaging almost 10 yards a carry.
Yeah,
I've never even seen a regular running back who's not just some sort of specialty player average that many yards per carry.
Well, we had like some Heisman Trophy winners at the Academy that averaged about that. So,
well, name them.
Glenn Davis.
Yeah. Well, still, he's been.
Matter of fact, Glenn Davis held the per yard rushing record up until just about 10 years ago.
There's your trivia question for the day, Bill. Maybe you can ask people and they'll forget.
I can tell you, in the National Football League, the average yards per carry rushing leaders is a guy named Beate Feathers, who played for the Chicago Bears in the 1940s. He averaged 10.5 yards a carry. So there. How's that for your trivia question?
There you go. Hey, I learned something new every day, Bill.
Well, the rest of our team has really had. I've really been impressed with Markel Broughton. He's a ball hog, not hog. He's a ball hawk.
There you go.
HAWK.
Some kind of animal.
Like a hawk.
But I will tell you, defensively, I feel like we have a competent defense. I don't know that we've had that one or two or three players that have just really bubbled to the surface and really distinguished themselves as disruptive players. But on the flip side, okay, while we may not have those world beaters, we don't have any real weakness either. It's been steady. So hopefully it'll all come together in this game.
So I would attribute that to Nate Woody, right? I mean, maybe we don't have any superstars, but just the defenses he's called. He's been so aggressive. Blitzes. I mean, I think he gets the credit for having that. I mean, really, that's what kept us in every game.
Oh yeah,
our defense has been stalwart.
He has schemed well.
Well, we can certainly ask Coach McDaniel about the play of the defensive line when he joins us in a few minutes, because our defensive line has been spectacular. This is Crawdad. We're down here at Bubbies Diner. 4 tickets to Army-Navy. I'm looking right at them. Come sign up, and you can win and walk away with them and hop on a Greyhound and get to that game. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Take your taste buds back in time with a trip to the all-new Bubbies Diner, offering a variety of mouth-watering food from delicious starters to 50-style diner food and meat and 3 meals, featuring owner and Huntsville native Chris Bubby Belcher's family's homemade recipes. Open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8412 Whitesburg Drive in the former Gibson's Barbecue. Drive-in, drive-through, carry-out, or curbside pickup with delivery coming soon through Grub South. Bubbies Diner, home of the Donut Burger.
If you need a car, McCurry Motors is ready to put you in a quality vehicle, and in-house financing is available. If you have a job, McCurry Motors will work with you even if you have a bankruptcy, divorce, or bad credit. Visit McCurrySaysYes.com. Every car comes with a warranty, and they report to the credit bureau. With 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens, call 256-230-0232, or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville, call 256-713-0575.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today. And get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
You know that there are some words that have really messed up our world. The devil, way back in Genesis, said, "Has God really said?" Unfortunately, we often listen to those words of the devil. We question God's word. We often doubt God's goodness, and we make a mess for ourselves and so many others. Hey, let's honor the word of God for what it is. It is God's word. Let's follow it and be blessed by it. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford live from Bubbies Diner, 8412 Whitesburg Drive. Come by, drop your name in the box, and get a chance to win 4 Army-Navy tickets. They're real. They're paper. We just looked at them. You can get them and go to the game. But right now, we have the absolute pleasure to be joined by Coach Eric Mcdaniel. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Coach, man, I couldn't be doing better, but glad you could take some time to join us. And we understand this is your first year at West Point. How do you like it up there?
Yes, sir. I love it. It's a privilege to be able to be up here in this historic institution and represent this great place. And I couldn't ask for a better group of guys.
So, Coach, this is your first Army-Navy game, and so you haven't experienced that yet, but I'm sure your fellow coaches have probably clued you in on what you're about to jump into. And what have they told you to expect in this particular game?
Oh, man, they've told me that this rivalry is unmatched, and we know we've got a lot of coaches on staff that has coached and played at different places all across the country with some major rivalries, and they all say the same thing, that this is like no other. This is as good as it's going to get. So I'm fired up about it.
So, Coach, is your first year going into the first game? So, who are some of your players that you're expecting great games from?
Oh man, we got a handful of guys up front that you can look out for. Number 95. Nolan Cockrell, our nose guard. It starts with him. He's a man amongst boys a lot of times on each and every Saturday, and I look forward to watching him play. Also, another guy, Kobina Bonsu, number 97. You'll see him playing our defensive end position. He's been great all year, solid as a rock. Another guy, Chris Frey. You'll see him out there, number 99. He's a younger guy that stepped up this year, that's given us some great reps. So look forward to him. And then also another guy, we'll have another senior, Ryan Duran, that you'll see. And he's got a lot of experience. And those few guys right there, look out for them.
Hey, Coach, a question just about coaching cadets. Is there anything you have to do differently to coach the cadets versus coaching other players from other schools you've had?
Not really. When it comes down to coaching the guys, it's still ball. Once we get out there and we get rolling in between the lines, it's still ball. And one of the things that I've noticed in being here at the academy is effort and want to, and all of those things is never an issue here. There's never a lack of motivation, or anything like that. These guys give us their all each and every day we go out there. So that's never an issue. All I got to do is try to make sure they're in the right spot, and then they're going to go all out and give it all they got every time.
Wow. Yeah, looking at the stats over the year, I mean, the two that jump out at me, number 18 in total defense, and even more impressive, number 12 in the country in rushing defense with just over 100 yards a game. What do you attribute that kind of success to?
Just the type of guys we got again. We got a bunch of hard-nosed guys who aren't afraid to get down and dirty and get after. And to stop the run, you gotta be able to do your job, hold your gap, and just know your assignment and want to be physical, because that's half the battle in the run game is will you beat the man across from you? And especially as a D-line coach, that's all my business is to line up, play a man across from me. So the whole defense embraces this culture of last of the hard, of national champions of toughness, and by doing so, that's how you get those rankings.
Hey, Coach, one thing I was wondering about, I know you probably had some extensive film study about the old Naval Academy. How does our defensive line match up against their offensive line? Seems like I recall that their quarterback has spent a lot of time watching the game from his backside this year. You think we're going to put a whooping on him from the defensive line perspective?
No, I don't know. I think I think they got a good bunch down there. This game here is from what the other coaches have told me. No matter how each side comes in, the record, either way it goes, it's going to be a hard-fought game, brawl from the beginning to the very end. And as I watch the film from the past years, it's exactly that. No matter if one side has a better record or one side is in a down year, no matter what, each team, each side is giving their absolute best. So going into this game, it's going to be just a matter of not names or stats or rankings. It's just who wants it more and who can execute better on that day.
Yeah, definitely. Building off of that question right there, as you studied the tapes and sort of looked at what you feel like offensively they do well, or maybe the strengths that they have, what do you feel like defensively Army's going to need to do to come away with a W?
Well, just in all of these academy games, what you got to do is you got to stop the run, and that's no secret. Anybody that plays any other academies, us, you got to stop the run because that's what we're going to do. That's what Navy will do, and the Air Force, and so on. We run the ball in the academies, and so stopping the run and doing your job in the option game is a huge deal. Anybody out of the gap, not where it's supposed to be, missing assignments and stuff like that in this option game. That's how you can quickly find yourself on the losing end. So that's what I'm harping on my guys about, especially up front, is holding the point, holding our gaps, and just playing our assignment. Not doing too much. Just doing your job, and that's what it takes.
Hey, Coach, thanks. That's I think that's very consistent with the message that pretty much we've gotten from all the coaches. So Navy hasn't had much success passing. I think one of the stats I saw that says that they get sacked about 1 out of every 4 times that they drop back. Or are you looking at? I know you can't tell us anything particular.
No,
but
go ahead and tell us.
Putting any particular pressure on them in passing situations?
No. The big thing is just getting to that passing situation. Because that's where I harp on my guys all week about. You truly have to. We say earn the right to pass rush. So, and that's in every game, but in this game in particular, you truly have to earn the right to pass rush. So if you can't stop them from running that ball, then you ain't going to even have to worry about it. So,
hey, Coach, a question I would have, Navy's 3-8. They've not had the best year, and I tend to think, this is a one-game season for them, and as such, I wouldn't be surprised to see halfback passes, flea flickers, any kind of madness. Are y'all anticipating stuff like that in practice and trying to work on it a little bit, or you just have to deal with it when it happens?
Just deal with it as it happens. You obviously all the guys have to be alert for anything that could happen in this game, and the key goes back to doing our job and everything within the defense that you can call in football. As long as everybody does their job, uses their rules, then you can sort anything out that happens after that. So that's what we harp on our guys. No matter what it is, whether it's a basic run or something that's completely new, just stick to your assignment. That's why we have rules, and follow your rules, and it'll handle everything.
Looking at Army offensively, running the ball, they pretty much it's fairly even between quarterbacks, fullbacks, and slot backs. But looking at Navy, they are heavy on fullback. The top 3 rushers on the team are all fullback. Does that simplify things for you from a defensive standpoint or make it more complicated, or how does that impact your game planning?
For us, it depends on where you're at. The smaller guys back there that fly around and run around back there, they have more of a emphasis on the slot backs and all those types of things. And as a defensive line coach, in the box, our main focus in the box is fullback. And then as you go on back, those guys have different responsibilities. But I like to tell my guys all the time, worry about your own house. So what I worry about mostly is the fullback and anything that's in that box. And, you know, outside of that, my big fellas, they're going to try to run, but we'll leave some of the stuff on the perimeter to the faster guys.
There you go. So, Coach, this is your first year in the brotherhood, being with Coach Monken. Can you tell us something that maybe surprised you in coaching with Coach Monken?
One thing that surprised me is, you know, how family oriented he is, and I thought coming to an academy and everything would be a certain type of way. I thought, you know, when I kind of came here, it would be a bunch of bald-headed people marching in place, marching all over the place every day. You know, but I quickly found out that it's not like that. It's a bunch of normal guys, normal kids that just so happen to be at a military school that love football. And Coach Monken, he's a worker, which I expected completely. We work hard and we get after it, but also he cares deeply about these players who, you know, and their health and well-being and how they're feeling. A lot of times, you know, we do things based off how they feel, which shocked me. You know, I was fully ready for just an old school, just grinder, you know, but one thing I realized about him, he truly, truly has the player's best interest at heart, which I love because that's my style as well.
Well, Coach, hey, we really appreciate your time. We're going to have to get out of here in a minute, but I'm going to ask you. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Can you give us any kind of a prediction, or is that not
or is that not allowed?
No, man. You know, I just hope our guys go out there and give it their best. You know, I think if they do that, then and follow the plan and the culture that we've instilled within them, I think we'll be okay.
I agree, Coach. That's great.
Great answer, Coach. Well, hey, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to be with us now. We'll go ahead and let you go, and that is Coach Eric
McDaniel.
Yes.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Coach.
Yeah, really appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Y'all, we're down here at Bubbies Diner, 8412 Whitesburg Drive. You got 15 minutes to come and register for these tickets. They will be given away tonight. Tonight, somebody will win these. This is Crawdad, back in a few.
Take your taste buds back in time with a trip to the all-new Bubbies Diner, offering a variety of mouth-watering food from delicious starters to 50-style diner food and meat and 3 meals, featuring owner and Huntsville native Chris Bubby Belcher's family's homemade recipes. Open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8412 Whitesburg Drive in the former Gibson's Barbecue. Drive-in, drive-through, carry-out, or curbside pickup with delivery coming soon through Grub South. Bubbies Diner, home of the Donut Burger.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. And while placing a custom factory order is a smart way to save big and get exactly what you want, it's not suited for everybody. Right now, during our year-end sales event, choose from the best selection we've had in months of 2021 F-150, Explorer, and Edge. These Fords are on the ground and ready for your driveway. Woody Anderson Ford has financing as low as 0% for up to 60 months on most 21 models, and 22 Edge has up to $2,000 in bonus cash. If you're like me, you've seen more and more Bronco Sports running the roads in Huntsville and Madison. Come take one for a test drive and you'll see why folks rave about it. It's Woody Anderson Ford's year-end sales event with 0% financing for 60 months or up to $2,000 in bonus cash, and it all ends November 30th. Come in to Woody Anderson Ford. We're America's best-selling brand. Woody Anderson Ford, corner at Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
Touchdown, Boilermakers! Witness tomorrow's NFL stars this month at the TransPerfect Music City Bowl.
First down, hand off, tailback, right up the middle to the 30. He's out of here. 20 to the 10, crank up Rocky Top. Touchdown, right up the middle.
Don't miss a second as Tennessee and Purdue, two of college football's top programs, go head-to-head on Thursday, December 30th at 2 p.m. inside Nissan Stadium. For more information on this year's game, including ticket availability, visit MusicCityBowl.com. Presented by the Tennessee Lottery.
Want to save some money?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Just check out our zone deals online at 977ESPN.com. We are 977 ESPN The Zone.
Back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad.
There's an echo in here.
There's an echo in here. And we're here now. We got somebody registering for the Army-Navy tickets even as we speak. You've got 15 more minutes to do that.
Before you put that in, are you for Army or Navy? Okay.
Oh,
there you go.
okay.
Go ahead.
Then we'll accept your...
You better say Army or we're not going to... So, hey, thanks for doing that. And also, before we bring on Johnny Brooks, just want to mention a couple of our other sponsors. Bubbies, obviously, is one. Nick's Ristorante, if you want a different type of...
Can you say that without going into the accent?
Nick's Ristorante.
Nick drilled it in.
That's right.
Yeah, Nick chewed me out one time for saying restaurante, so no, I don't do that anymore. But if you want a little different dining experience,
different,
it's
called fine dining.
Fine dining. This is diner dining, and
yes.
So Nick's is always a good place to be.
For a special evening out, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday night. And the other sponsor, Brian Hamaker and all his team down at North Alabama Mortgage at northalabamamortgage.com. They can fix you up with anything you need as far as financing. They can hook you up with housing financing. So, again, appreciate you supporting our sponsors. And now we'd like to bring blogger extraordinaire Johnny Brooks into the show. Johnny, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, troops. How y'all doing?
Well, we're doing great.
Doing great, man. Talking Army football, it doesn't get any better.
Right, Army-Navy football.
Yeah, there you go.
And also, we got the chance to read your excellent analysis that came out today. And, gosh, after reading that, I don't even know where to start. But I guess I'll start with what do you think is going to be the key to the game?
What I think is going to be the key to the game. I think the team that makes the least mistakes and plays 4 quarters of football will come out on top. I'm very concerned with our 8-3 record and their 3-8 record and all the hoopla about them having a bad year. It's almost as if we're setting ourselves up for a difficult time.
Can you say Alabama, Auburn?
Yeah. I agree with you, Johnny. I mean, even as I put together the stats comparison that synced very much with what you laid out, I've never seen a one-sided comparison statistically like we're seeing right now, and that concerns me a little bit. But what is it as you perused over Navy's year? What are maybe one or two things that concern you that Army? Here, this is what they need to be ready for. This is a vulnerability, or anything along those lines.
Well, I think they have progressively gotten better throughout the entire year. They started out a horrific ball club, terrible, and They progressively got better. I mean, and there was disarray amongst them, personnel management, coach management, everything. And they, despite the fact that Hodges, their linebacker, quit 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, they seem to have worked their way out of that, and they've had a lot of personnel changes and moved a lot of young people onto the depth chart. The last couple of games, with the exception of Temple, the Temple game, I don't know if you watched it, but the Temple game was an interesting game because Temple was only going through the motions. It was as if they didn't want to get hurt. They were on the field because they were there. But their previous games, I mean, they came back, they being Navy, came back in the fourth quarter, and they pushed the opponent, and they made a challenge of a bunch of football games that they weren't supposed to be in, but they were.
Well, they lost to Cincinnati by only 7 points, and they're in the college football playoff. So, I agree with that. And they've had a lot of other close games. But, your point concerns me, too, because I think you kind of mentioned it in your analysis, is Navy's going to be what I would call free popping. They got nothing to lose, and everything
Absolutely
to gain. And I hope that we just had the Coach Mcdaniel on, and he said that they have really been trying to keep the players focused on what they have to do. And I hope that's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's not much of a change, right? I mean, every week you're prepping for that game, and I think that there is a challenge prepping for Navy, but it's not any different. Johnny, I think you were the one who said that at the beginning of the year, right? That the schedule that was posted up there every week was Army against Army, right?
Yeah.
Don't
this
beat
week is
yourself.
probably bigger than any other game as far as that is concerned. I mean, we've got the better talent. There's no doubt about it. I think our guys have better experiences as far as being winners are concerned. I just worry about complacency sneaking in somewhere. The Navy's got nothing to lose. They're going to try everything that they possibly can. And I don't blame them.
Yeah, I think you're right. And like you mentioned in your analysis, we need to be ready for those trick plays, things that they would not otherwise do. We have to be ready for those things. But, what is your assessment of where their football program is, the trajectory they're on? Early in the year where the AD, without consulting Niumatalolo, fires the offensive coordinator, then Niumatalolo responds by hiring him back as the quarterback coach. Are there some deeper issues? Is what we're seeing on the field just symptoms of deeper issues within the program?
Well, we don't know because we're not there. There might very well be a little bit of dissension in the ranks. When Coach Ken's been there a long time. I mean, they're going to put a statue up somewhere when he finally leaves. I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon, unless he this time goes to BYU. We'll see about that. But
Johnny, one thing you just said is we don't know because we're not there, but that certainly doesn't mean we can't talk about it. And I tend to think, beginning last year with what Niumatalolo said after the BYU game, where he essentially threw his leadership under the bus and said, "Hey, don't blame me for not practicing," and then the thing with firing Jasper and hiring him back. I just think the program's in a state of disarray, and I tend to think that Coach Ken is coaching his last Army-Navy game. So
you might be right, but I don't. They got some talented young kids on the football team. They might want to hang on to him and hang around a little bit. He's been there a long time, and usually when a coach is there a long time, there starts to be some friction as to who runs the institution. Don't know if that exists, but it very well could be part of the problem.
Well, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, you mentioned they started off really rough. I mean, their first three games to Marshall, Air Force, and Houston lost them all, and by a combined total of 30-100. But again, the last game in that 3-game series was Houston, who ended up in the conference championship. Only lost by 8 points, and then later on with Cincinnati lost by 7 points. So there's some pluses there. But one thing I looked at the 3 games that they did win, and in those games they were 3 minutes above their season averages in time of possession, almost a full +1 above their season average on turnover margin, and they hit additional 50 yards. So what do you see them having that kind of success against Army?
I do not. We could contribute to the turnover margin. I hope we don't, and I don't think we will. That's on us if we do. But I think we should control time of possession. Usually in a 2-option teams play, time of possession is going to win the game unless they make mistakes. So I think as long as complacency doesn't set in, I think we're probably in good shape here. But we just got to be very careful.
Yeah. So, Johnny, in your analysis, you said you talked about establishing the fullback early, and there have been times this year that we haven't done that, right? That we have gone outside, thrown early in the game, been much more aggressive in the play calling. Against Air Force, we certainly were very conservative. But do you see us maybe calling a little bit more aggressive game this week?
Well, I kind of hope so, because I actually think that he who wins the passing game is going to win the Army-Navy game this coming Saturday.
That's unusual.
Yeah, but when I say wins the passing game, I'm saying doesn't commit an error and has 130 or 140 yards passing and is successful at the right time.
Yep.
In other words, keep drives alive.
Well, speaking of that, Johnny, just kind of a segue to that question, or a follow-on, or some big word that I don't understand, right? Who do you think is going to get most of the time at quarterback, Anderson or Tyler?
Well, I hope Anderson does, because if he doesn't, that means he's hurt probably. So I'm hoping he does. I think he runs a better offense than Tyler does, and I think his passing ability brings something to it that Tyler just doesn't bring. But Tyler's pretty one-dimensional guy. I mean, give me the ball and I run it. At least that's my observation.
Well, your observation is correct. And And hey, Johnny, as always, thanks for your time this year. You've been an excellent addition to the show. And Smokey Mike, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back and we'll get some tickets given away. I think we've had our last person sign up for it.
There you go. Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny.
Back in a bit.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Valley Equipment Rental. Pretty self-explanatory name, no? Tom Abraham here. And look, Valley Equipment Rental is all over the Tennessee Valley. And they rent equipment. All kinds of equipment. And not just to the contractors out there, but to you, the general public, as well. Need a skid steer or an excavator? Well, they've got over 40 units to make sure they've got one for you. From huge boom lifts to miscellaneous hand tools, it's at Valley Equipment Rental on the South Parkway. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. More on that to come.
Everybody knows the fun begins when you get to the end zone, where you can enjoy half-price apps every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, half-price burgers every Tuesday, plus late-night pizza specials and a spectacular menu that includes jumbo wings, half-pound burgers, Tex-Mex, and an incredible selection of craft beer, and plenty of big-screen TVs. It's all happening at the end zone, 1851 University Drive, 2030 Cecil Ashburn at Jones Valley Station, and coming in early 2022, Mid-City End Zone at 1115 McMurtry next to the Target Shopping Center. Sometimes the best things in life are right in front of you. When's the last time you took time to enjoy everything Montesano State Park has to offer? So close to home, just 5 miles from downtown Huntsville, Montesano State Park sits on over 2,000 acres with spectacular vistas from atop Montesano Mountain. And right now is a great time to visit and enjoy all the fall colors. In just a few months, spring will arrive with native azaleas in bloom along the 20 miles of hiking trails and 14 miles of biking trails. And no matter when you visit, you can enjoy time in one of 11 stone cabins with working fireplaces, built in 1930 by the Civilian Conservation Corps. These historic cabins all sit on a bluff line that offers beautiful views from their screened-in porches. Prefer a more primitive camping experience? Montesano State Park offers improved and primitive camping year-round. If you're ready to take some time to slow down and get away, log on allapark.com and make your reservation now. That's allapark.com. In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com.
Southern Fidelity Mortgage. Think of them as a loan for everyone, offering more products than anyone else and the guaranteed lowest rates and costs in town. Of the 2,000 loans that Southern Fidelity Mortgage has pre-approved over the last 10 years, all but one have closed. That's unprecedented in the banking business. For FHA, VA, rural development, and conventional mortgages, for the best mortgage experience in town, it's Southern Fidelity Mortgage.
Call Southern Fidelity Mortgage Company at 256-656-5936.
It's Alabama, Cincinnati, Georgia, and Michigan in the Final Four.
No. Yes.
Listen to all the coverage and the games right here.
All right, place your bets. Place your bets.
On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and this is the last segment of our regular season, where we're going to close it out with some of our analysis of Army-Navy, and we did the drawing exactly at 19:45, 7:45. The winner was Jim Montman. He was down here earlier, had dinner with us.
Class of 81?
Class of
81, we dominate, man.
I think we all know Jim. I've worked with him a good bit, and I know he's going to use the tickets, so that's always a good thing. Well, guys, it's time to wrap up the regular season, and it's time to do it with a little discussion on Army-Navy. And it's always a good game. Tom, you're going, right?
Yeah, we're going. We're flying up tomorrow, flying to D.C. tomorrow, taking the train up on Friday. So meeting about 7 classmates. Got a group of tickets. It's going to be great.
Good for you. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
And Steve, you and I guess, will be with the alumni. At
that's
the
right.
Fractal Brewing House or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
brewing. Come, enjoying some good beverages there and some good food. But I mean, this, it seems like the theme that comes up with everybody's comments is complacency. Is that's the biggest enemy. If you focus on even focus on the numbers, it seemed like we should come away with an easy win, but these games are never easy.
I agree. I don't think with Jeff Monken complacency is an issue.
Yeah.
I was listening to your comment, your and Johnny's comments, and while I understand that is a danger, I think everything about the culture that Monken has brought to West Point just negates that complacency concern. It's just about doing what you're supposed to do. You heard it the way the coach was talking about. Everybody doing their Bill. They're 111th.
Well, when you talk about complacency, that reminds me when I was in the Captain's Advance course down at Fort Rucker, I had to come up with our class motto. None of us really wanted to be there. We wanted to get back to flying helicopters. So I came up with a great class motto, and it was, we're apathetic, but we don't care. And hopefully, as Barney Fife would say, apathy will not sit in and not complacency. And I agree with you, Tom. I don't think there's any such thing as a complacent Munkin team. Now, there has been a game or two, such as UMass and also Ball State, where we didn't exactly hit on all 6 cylinders, but that won't be the case Saturday.
Yeah. And especially for an Army-Navy game. And this is, a couple of people have mentioned, Navy, this is a one-game season for them. But really for all the academies, when they play each other, and especially Army-Navy, that's the one you want to win, so you have bragging rights.
We had 14 one-game season. It didn't help us.
Yeah, exactly. But to put it into perspective where we are as a favorite right now, so on Navy's side, this will be the first time that they've had consecutive years without a bowl game since 01-02. Similarly, this is the first time Army's been favored in consecutive Army-Navy games since 2000 and 2001. So there was that long stretch there, where things have turned around, and clearly all arrows are pointing to Army, but they're going to have to bring it.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I really hope that we see I think the players are going to come out and play well. I really hope that we call an aggressive game. I think that we have a chance to hit them in the nose early. Yeah. If the longer we let them hang around, the worse it is. I mean, we are a better football team. I think we need to hit them hard, hit them early. We need to throw early, misdirection. They got a lot of plebes on defense, first time in front of 80,000 people at MetLife. I mean, we need to. They're going to be on their heels, and I think we just pound them.
And Johnny's comment that the more I've thought about it, I think he's spot on. He says, whoever wins the passing game is going to win this game, and I really think so. You look at Navy stats again. Neither are overwhelming passing stats, but both of them do it fairly efficiently. Matter of fact, their 2 leading receivers combined have 20 receptions, but between of them, they've got 5 touchdowns. So 25% of the pass completions to those 2 individuals went for touchdowns. So we've got to do like we did in the first half of Liberty, jamming them at the line, being aggressive as you said, and just not letting up. I think that the opening on both sides of the ball will tell the way the game's going to go.
Bill's pointing at himself. He wants to say something.
It is Crawdad's countdown to kickoff. Damn it. Can I not say something? Steve just punched me off the air because I said a nasty word. Well, I would say this, though. When Johnny, I agree winning the passing game, but you don't have to throw the ball 30 times to win the passing game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Mac Jones won the passing game for the Patriots the other night by throwing 3 passes.
But he didn't win the game throwing passes, right?
But he won the passing game.
That's not what Johnny said.
Okay, well, whatever. Well, all right. Steve, punch him off the air.
While erroneous, that was a great point.
Well, let's do this, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about some picks. Tom, what do you think's going to happen and why?
I think we're going to come out. I think we're going to be aggressive. I think our defense is going to dominate their offense. I think they struggle if they don't establish the fullback. Their offense doesn't move, and I think that we can handle that. So I'm picking Army 35-7.
What about you, Steve?
Wow, yeah, it's interesting. You look at the Vegas, about 7.5 points. I think the over/under is 35. And
mine are cat years.
Yeah, but I tend to be with you. I think we're going to cover the spread, and in a rarity, I think we're going to be out on the over kind of thing. I've got us winning by about 10, maybe a 30-20, kind of range.
Well, I'm saying 24-10, and a couple of things I think is going to happen. One I hope happens is I think we're really going to win the special teams battle. And we have seen –
we haven't talked that,
we've seen recently that we actually can return kicks and return punts very successfully. We have the young Mr. Terrell Robinson, and Tom, you've been saying for the last couple of years I'm going to see somebody break a punt for a touchdown. I think we may see it.
Or a kickoff, right? I mean, something, yeah.
And on the other side of the special team, Zach Harding, we've been talking about him all season. He was preseason Ray Guy Award watch list. He has been a weapon punting the ball. Last couple games, he's almost been every single time inside the 20. And has had those long punts when he needed to. I think if he can, on those rare occasions when we need a punt, I think he's going to change the field for us.
I hope he gets mighty cold during the game, sitting over there and shivering because he never has to go in. And
on that, I was looking back over on the Navy Air Force game between the two teams. There were 15 punts in that game.
Wow.
Well, that was a terrible game. The first half was just painful to watch.
It was 0-3, I think, at halftime.
But my key to the game, and if we do this, we will win the football game. If we are successful on first
we score
down,
more points than them.
If we Steve, punch him off. If we score more points than them, we win. As long as we keep breathing, we won't die. I mean, that's a blatant statement of the obvious. But if we can get 4 downs or more on first down, and keep ourselves in excellent short yardage position on third down and even short yardage position on fourth down, the game will be ours.
Yeah, and like I say, first 2 series, I think we'll know how this game's going to go. If we, on our first possession, if we can put points on the board, their first possession, 3 and out, the game's in hand.
All right, well, folks, we're going to have to start wrapping it up here from Bubbies Diner. They're going to throw us out in a minute. And just remember this, thanks to all our sponsors this year, and thanks to Tom, and thanks to Steve, and thanks to Steve Moulton. And remember this, no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing, during that Army-Navy game, there's going to be some soldier and sailor standing a watch so you can enjoy the life that you do in this great country of ours. Go Army.
Beat Navy.
Talk to you before the bowl game.
Penguins Capitals, Friday at 7 Eastern on ESPN+. All for hockey.
Are you ready for an electrifying Monday night? Are Kyler and the Cardinals ready to settle on top of the NFC West? Are Stafford and the Rams ready to knock them off? The playoff push is here. Contenders are ready to rise. And the stakes are ready to get higher. Are you ready? Rams, Cardinals, Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
Tom Brady's just ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, look, he's really good. By so far the greatest older player of all time in football, too, because, like, no quarterback had ever been great past the age of 41. He's 44. But this begs the question, guys. I had various players